All right, let's get it.
Of course, you've seen that in Lebanon already.
Yes, my old broker.
Was that your old girlfriend?
Yes.
And you escaped.
I did. Barely.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We had 75 here last week.
Yes, absolutely. I also have a donut.
I don't know, they're trickling in slower each week. We're already.
No, I'm gonna go to the,
That's what it is.
those sticks that realtor.
Hello on internet world. You got about 24
So
people
I
on
wanna-
internet. Welcome, everybody. And as we always start, we're going to say hi and meet two new people, but also Matt brought in donuts today. So while you get up and say hi to people, I'm sorry if you're online, we can't get a donut to you. We don't have the beaming machine yet.
just looking
But when you direct message two people you don't know, say hi. Everybody, you've got a minute to meet people and grab a donut. All right, let's get her going. Grab a seat, grab a donut. So Rachel, every week we start with one of our MVVPs.
Yeah,
Today we have our mission. What is our mission?
to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, which is the newest one, and legacies worth leaving.
It's newest.
It is
So how long, it's been there a while though, hasn't it?
a year and a half, maybe?
Very cool. And that's our goal. It's not just to have the top two. That's where a lot of places stop, the career and the business. Actually, a lot of places don't even have the career. They just have sell houses, list houses till you die. They don't have to think of an idea of getting a career, making it bigger. So I love that that's our things to get not just a business, a job, but a life. So part of our mission every week, we try and nominate a culture person. Last week it was Jenna Miller. And this week she has nominated Crystal Tippy. Let's give her a round of applause.
Yeah, Dennis said, I've been thinking back about several transactions I've had with KW agents and several stand out. One agent went well above and beyond though. I'd like to nominate Crystal Tippy for the Steffes Award. Although it's been months since the transaction, it's one I don't think I'll ever forget. Crystal went above the normal expectations of a realtor to ensure this transaction closed. We had several hurdles during the transaction and she had a win-win solution for each one with an incredible positive attitude. She even got a crawl space to verify repairs when the appraiser wouldn't. Her client had a major surgery that week and tensions could have easily been high. However, Crystal's communication and creative solutions made this difficult situation seem easy. Thank you for being great, Crystal.
And I think Crystal's online. Are you there?
I am. I'm actually in the office upstairs. I am like in shock. Thank you very much.
Well, make sure you tell Crystal congratulations. Her phone number
If you'd like to text her.
417-576-8600. 576-8600 and tell Crystal congratulations.
But it won't be as exciting since she knows it's coming, but still, it's great. So she'll get to keep the Steffes Award for 1 week, and then she gets to keep the miniature version of it forever. So we're getting those more around the office,
At
aren't
least she
we?
has a heads up to put her phone on Do Not Disturb right now.
Yeah, that's true. So I love what she and Wayne were doing with the dad jokes every time, so that's
Oh,
kind of fun
yeah.
too. But you know what?
What?
We are full of culture.
Oh, we are.
We're gonna do another culture award.
Oh, okay.
We're going to recognize Maria Galgano.
Ooh, Maria.
Is
Oh,
she
she's not
here?
here today. She's in California. She's going to California.
Oh, we need to text her too.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here's why we're recognizing her. There's a new group called Chispa,
Chispa.
which stands for the Coalition of Hispanics for Progressive Action. And she has been named our regional person for it.
Wow.
And when we say our region, it encompasses other states outside of even our greater Heartland region. I pulled the report and it's like North Dakota, South Dakota as
Oh, wow.
well, some into Wisconsin and maybe Minnesota. So it's like 10 states that she's covering for Chispa.
You know what? If she's in California, it is, is she?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, her
All right.
cell phone number is 417
We've been calling already.
Okay, good.
414-8130, 414-8130.
So text her also, say congratulations. Yeah, I got to thinking if she's still asleep over there, so.
It's fine.
We have so much culture,
She's
it's
in
just
California.
coming out our ears, so it's great. Also, vendor guide, people in business we trust. Any vendors we have in here or feel like they can take about 30 seconds and tell us who they are, what they do.
Stacy Strawn, I'm with Legal Land Title, just across the parking lot. Can help you guys with any of your closing needs. So if you have questions, don't hesitate to call me.
Awesome. Anybody else in here?
And we just worked on sending out a new packet for the vendor program revamp, and we're making it more event specific. If you have any questions at all, please see Nicole if you have an application. We're not limiting the amount of vendors that we will have. Previously, we could only have 3 in a certain category. So please email Nicole and she can send out the packet for
Yeah,
you.
because we have so many people that want to be involved with our agents, so we found a way to make it where they can have more things and it helps us with more trainings and more all the events we do. Okay, do not call people you're not supposed to, do not get sued, do not bring litigation to Keller Williams Greater Springfield. Broker moment. Jim, what do you have?
Well, the market's changed obviously again, right? Has anybody asked for concessions lately? Oh, yeah, okay. I mean, it's back, right? We can ask for concessions on a transaction now, and there's a good chance we'll get it if we're not in a multiple offer situation. The problem is your seller agreeing to pay commission on the concessions, right? Everybody nod, Richard, it's already asked for these. You know, if you don't think they're willing to, and you discuss this beforehand, saying that, look, you know, there's a chance this is gonna go FHA or VA, and they may ask for concessions, and it could be as high as what? $5,000, pretty easy on almost anything. USDA could be. That's an additional $150 that the seller would have to pay out of that. So less net to the bottom line, right? So I really think that if you look at a lot of listings, you'll see it right in the marketing remarks or agent remarks. It says seller will not pay commission on any concessions. You know, make sure that if you've had that discussion, that you put that in the marketing remark or the agent remarks so that they understand. I mean, because it's become an issue. We've had other brokers and other agents call and they're freaking out about it. They want their money. The only way we can get the money to them, the $150, is to take it out of your commission, right? You'd have to have an employment agreement addendum that says my commission is now X and minus the $150. And that would give the seller the same net they would have had if it hadn't been for paying commission on that.
If I represent the seller, I always send over that employment agreement addendum to get signed at the same time as the contract.
That's fine. Yeah, you could do that. I mean, an employment agreement addendum, the offer comes in, it basically becomes a counter, doesn't it? That's the only scary part about it. You counter and say, now, it doesn't affect the buyer in any way, does it? And if you get a greedy agent, you know, then you got a problem. But I'm not gonna fight over $150, and I hope you don't either. I hope you address it up front, and then you don't have the issue. You don't have the discussion with either the agent or the brokers or whatever, because it's really contentious and it's really silly, I think, too. You finally get something under contract, you know? And then also make sure you meet and greet with the Lebanon group over here, because they're doing a fabulous job up there. It's only 55 miles, but you know, if you don't want to drive 55 miles and make a referral, it'd sure be a lot easier just to send them a referral, because they do land, they do commercial, they do residential, do development. She's got a background in design, right? And she's got how many people on your team now?
7.
7. So she's got somebody that can handle it for you. So think from Conway to almost Rolla, you've got somebody in Lake of the Ozarks too, right? And into Plato, everybody's been to Plato. So she can handle all of that for you. So I just take a minute to talk to her. She's one of the rising stars in here and see what she's doing. Any questions on anything? I have to leave. I've got to go show a farm. It's one of my best days ever when I get to do that. Really is. I'm serious. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I crack up when people get all out of whack on $150 because if you're paying a split and you have taxes, you're already over $50.
Mhm.
Let's make the deal go. Let's get it done. So anyway, yeah, but the more you put ahead of time, that solves all
Wait,
the
you have to
issues.
take taxes out of the money you make?
Some people do. Otherwise you end up in a big house someday. So, all right, as Jim said, the market is changing. So the big one is this week's numbers. The little thing on the left is last week's. Every number is down. Look how much active listings dropped in every region. So, and then look how many contracts, drastic change in how many contracts were written last week. Okay, the only number that has gone up, if it'll come, is the active listings available. It only went up 2. But this is where we monitor how many more houses are hitting the market and how much is available. So you are seeing a shift happen. And that's kind of some of the things we're going to talk about today, ways to make you more productive and how to help other people who are feeling this stuff. But your sellers, your buyers are going to start feeling this and agents are going to start feeling it. Because a lot of people are like, oh, spring bump is here. It's going to speed up. It will, but it's going to be a little bump. It's not going to be, it's like, how many people remember Ski Bluff or Snow Bluff up in Brighton?
Yeah.
We used to have a ski mountain in Brighton, and the Colorado people called it a ski bump because it's a little hill and that's all it was. So this is a ski bump, it's not a mountain. So it's not gonna be a big bump, but we're gonna watch what goes on with it. Okay, calendar. Today, there's not much going on except this. We have Don's class tomorrow and we have something coming Friday, which we've got a slide for in a second,
Okay,
but tell them about it too, or do you wanna wait?
But wait,
Okay.
there's a slide. There's a slide for it.
Red Day was incredible.
Mhm.
Not Red Day, the actual fundraiser. We raised over $20,000 that night. That's just the start.
Yes.
There's more coming. Does anybody from the ALC
Amy's.
Culture Committee want to say anything?
Just so proud of everybody. It was amazing. Everybody's generosity was phenomenal. The guests that were in attendance were just appalled at the outpouring. It was such a good testimony for what Keller Williams is and what it offers. And Larry and Tanya were in tears by the end of the night. They said, this is by far the biggest outpouring of support that any organization has ever given to them. And they're just, they're blown away. And I said, wait till you see our workday.
We're just getting started.
Yeah, that's what I
Uh-huh.
was saying, we're just getting started, because we have at least a $10,000 minimum gap. Our goal is 30,000 this year.
Yeah.
So if this would be a great time, $250 per bed is what it costs.
Yeah, so I think Landon said we're at like between 21 and 22,000. And he was still in the process of collecting money for t-shirts. There's still time to order your shirts.
There
So we
is.
could
Good.
still make
Okay.
some additional money on the shirts.
And that is this
Um,
little QR code right here at the bottom you can still use to order your shirts.
Yep, so if somebody doesn't have a shirt, order your shirts, order your kids' shirts. And then he was still in the process of collecting a few of the donations from the vendors that had sponsored on the back of the shirts. So my hope is that once he's done with all of that, we'll be closer to 23,000. And then we only have a 7,000 gap towards our goal. Somebody in our culture committee is talking to Maria Nider about possibly getting us on the news. And that would be great if we could get some community support as well.
Awesome.
And one of my clients is the general manager of Color 10 Fox 49, so let me get that info to you
Let's
too.
talk to them, yeah.
We'll get them.
So just a heads up, Wim Oaks, if you want a sweet way to donate, is,
Sweet.
is actually selling his honey, and all of what you put towards the honey is actually going towards Red Day.
Wow.
So if you guys want some honey and you want to give a little extra to Red Day at the same time, we're upstairs, second floor, get some honey.
Yeah, I'll be in the office today, so I have the stash.
The boy from.
Yeah, the voice from above is coming out.
So I
For the record, I do approve this message.
We have people all over. So what if we made a little picture of a bed and everybody that donated $250 would put their name on that bed, put on our wall upstairs?
Yep.
So maybe we can do that, and that way you can invest in your own bed for someone, and maybe we can get a whole bunch more that way. So anyway, thank you all. That night was amazing. You are so generous, and we love being part of a group like this. Okay, free leads. I'm still helping run campaigns for people. I've got 2 or 3 more this week. This is your last week, but here's what you do. We will help you run a command Facebook ad. And we've got like 8 or 9 of them running right now. I haven't heard of any actual, they're top of the funnel leads. So they're gonna take a while to get through and become productive, but we're gonna see what comes from them. But this is the last week. If you want my money, you better get it by the end of March, otherwise it's gone. Okay, upcoming event this Friday.
Yeah, so Tyler Shields, a lot of you may have heard of him. He spoke at Family Reunion recently and at Mega Camp. He is also licensed here in our market center. So he is licensed in Colorado, Arizona, and here in Springfield. He does a lot of short-term rentals in Branson. He is coming to Springfield on Friday, and we're gonna do a pop-up mastermind. We're gonna start at 10 a.m. down in the training center, and it's gonna be how to navigate the shift. He's also very well versed in command. He does a lot of the command your conversion pages. You may be a part of that. He's leading those with Leslie Jackson. So we're super excited for Tyler to join us. So if you can make it, please do. And I think in the it's gonna be more of a mastermind. It's not gonna be a lot of talking. It's going to be, let's see what's going on. He'll be able to bring his perspective, what he's seeing in Colorado, but also in Arizona. I think his GCI is normally about 4 million in the year. And so on the Facebook page, I put his bio in there on the post, so that way you can learn more about him.
Okay, that's how much commission. That's not how much he sold.
Gross commission income, not volume.
Yeah.
I had to reread it a couple times.
Yeah.
because I was like, 4 million, okay.
Oh, that money in the
Got it,
bank.
got it.
And he's not this blurry. I picked this is his business card that, so it's the only thing I could grab. So
Yeah.
it'll look clearer in person. But that's gonna be great this Friday and coaching call morning.
Yes, so Lead Gen will be here down at 8 o'clock, starting in the training center and dispersing like they did previously on Dial Day.
And then they can come to this right
Yep, for
afterwards
sure.
also.
Yep, just don't go to Nixa.
Yeah, you'll be there alone. Actually, Jason will be there. There'll be stuff going on. Okay, another couple events. These are some pop-up things, but they're a little bit more notice. April 12th. Now Brett Tanner is the main guy of Keller Williams Wealth. And
Yeah, so Brett Tanner started this probably about a year ago within KW with all the communities, and this has really taken off. He has a workshop that he facilitates down in Austin, and that's normally about $1,000. He is doing this in Kansas City for $199. After March 31st, prices will increase though, so please get registered if you're wanting to attend. Whenever you go to this workshop, you cannot enter unless you build a $50 million net worth plan. Like that is a criteria before you can even walk in. The really cool thing about that I know this number sounds really large, of how simple it can be once you break it down of whatever you have to do each year. So for this plan, a lot of it breaks down to buying 2 single family homes every year. So now it seems more attainable to get to that $50 million net worth. He's really famous for his tax strategies that he's learned.
yeah,
He's read the entire tax code. So talk about a wealth of knowledge, because how many of us are actually going to read the entire tax code, right? If I can go to this class and pay $199 to learn it then instead of reading it, sign me up all day. And some of them are really great, like the Augusta rule. How many of you know what the Augusta rule is? So it started in Augusta, Georgia, where the PGA Championship is, and you can actually rent out your single or your personal residence 14 days out of the year, and you don't have to pay taxes on it. So if I, Rachel Watson Real Estate LLC, rents out my personal residence to do an event, and I pay myself, I don't have to pay any taxes on the income received. Right? So how many of you also have a vacation home that you could also use it in? Because you can use it for your secondary homes as well. So things like that will help you save a lot of money in taxes.
more than the 199 you're gonna spend. plus
100%.
travel.
Yep. So if you are even interested, I strongly encourage you attending. I know I will be there. I will be in Kansas City the day before for a leadership meeting and then staying. So this is an amazing opportunity that I would love for more people to be a part of.
Yep, so the QR code there will give you all the info on it. And then right after that,
What time is it? I believe it's 9 to 5.
8:30 to 4.
8:30 to 4 at the Overland Park Hotel. And there is quite a bit of space left available. So I would
Yeah.
love a big group of Springfield to come. So that way we can learn that, come back and have a mastermind of how we can build our own $50 million net worth plans.
So the next thing, April 13th, there's gonna be an info meeting on what 72 sold is. We've got several groups in here that are already part of it. The goal is for Keller Williams to have 20,000 agents nationwide. Regionally, we're looking at 750. This is to let you know what the system is, how it works, because sellers like it. So come to this thing. It's gonna be April 13th. We don't have an exact time yet.
I think it's at 10:30. And
That's right,
Can I
10:30.
say something kind
Sure.
of off the cuff?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be a little vulnerable here, and I've heard 72 sold comments from our market center, but across regions, KW. I had somebody ask me yesterday if this is what the face of real estate is gonna look like. And I thought it was a great question because I hadn't been asked that before. And my response was, it's not going to be the face, but it is going to stay here. And what I mean by is the tactic of 72 sold. So Greg Haig, who is in Arizona, has had phenomenal success in it, that it's been this whole buzz nationwide. Whether you agree with the program or not, I totally understand and respect that. Here's what's going to happen though, and why we have to have Keller Williams as a whole. So there's two different levels. There's a $72 a month program and a $1,500 a month program. The $72 a month program it's in a box. You get phenomenal training. You can run the play. You just won't get the leads that come off the $1,500 ad spend whenever you see the commercials, but you can use the whole marketing pitch, conversations, everything. If Keller Williams does not get a certain amount, we will lose our exclusivity agreement with 72 sold. Meaning EXP has went to Gary Keller and said, I will pay you 3 times, or excuse me, not Gary Keller, Greg Haig. I will pay you 3 times the amount that Keller Williams is paying for exclusivity. So if we don't grab a hold of this, somebody else will, and then we can no longer use the program. And again, whether we like the program or not, it's going to happen. It's going to go off like wildfire with whoever chooses to use it. One second, Matt. And then the thing I like to refer to back as is there's different things that have happened in this industry, whether we didn't like when it happened. So when we talk about cold calling and scripting and all that, how many of us don't really like cold calling, but it's now a common practice, right? It's the same thing with 72 sold. This thing, it's already out there. It's going to continue to grow. And we have the opportunity to keep it within us. Doesn't mean you have to use it. Now, do I think there's a best practice, right? 100%. There is a training on how to run the play to ensure that you're going through with it. We're all human. Sometimes we make mistakes and we're all learning from those same mistakes. And so I just ask that if you have feedback, I would love to hear it. And that's what this class is about, is so we can make this the best thing for our market center so that we don't have to worry about other agents from other brokerages using this program against us and we have no control over it. And we know that we're the ones that unfortunately we can't do it now. Not saying it's going to happen where EXP or whoever may else get the exclusivity, but it's a very real conversation that's happening right now in Keller Williams.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that this will be, we can have conversations, and I want all the feedback. I want the transparency of it, and I want solutions. How can we create solutions to make this better for everybody? But the most important thing about this whole program, and we go back to Keller Williams, is our culture, right? Among everybody else, like we are a family here. And so if you are ever doing a deal with another KW agent, please let's have the conversations with them just like we would on another transaction. If Mike's client came to me and I found out he was working with Mike, I would say, I'm very sorry. I need to talk to Mike first, or you need to have a conversation with Mike before I move forward with that. There's a right way and a wrong way to do business. And let's all uphold each other, because the culture is the biggest part of KW. That's what makes us who we are. And that has to happen in every single business practice that we operate in. So I will get off my soapbox. I hope you can join us on the 13th at 10:30. Yes, Matt.
What would keep somebody from taking 72 sold and doing like a knockoff spin-off version of it?
Nothing.
You could essentially do that. So the $72 a month is essentially taking the branding, you're able to use the logos. They have the conversation practice. I mean, their training is dialed in. Like Greg is on those calls, and I know people like Justin can talk about it, but you could do that. However, what happens is by using the 72 sold, whenever they see it like on the TV, it brings it back to the brand. So anybody could knock it off, but they're not able to run the ads or have the exposure like 72 sold already has. Especially if you're in Arizona, you drive by, there's billboards everywhere of 72 sold, everywhere.
So if I remember, it started with that name because their thing was, we'll sell your house in 72 hours.
Yeah.
To make it compliant with every state everywhere, it's now, we will sell your home in 8 days. And that's what sellers are looking for right now.
Yeah.
Before this, go to 72sold.com. You can see some of the info. There's videos there. There's client testimonies, but it's a thing that we can use as the market changes.
Yeah. And it's just another tool in the tool belt, right? Like depending on what your business is primarily, like I'm a relationship person. Like I would only do business with the people that like, know, and trust me. And those are probably going to come from natural, organic conversations and events that we're doing. And if somebody else in our market center, that's what they want to thrive their business off of, great. How can we support them? But also how can we find a win? So we're staying compliant with MLS, and we're upholding our culture of KW within each other. That's the biggest thing. And so that's where this conversation is starting from. So I hope you can join us just to learn more about it if you don't know the different offerings. And so we can figure out a way to make this the best thing for our market.
And
center.
like you said, it's not gonna be the right fit for everybody, but when you can go to a listing agent, you can say, here's option 1, here's option 2, here's option 3, you got all those choices.
Yeah.
Justin,
I want to answer Matt's question because this is something I've thought about a lot and it's a question that gets asked a lot of 72 sold. Why don't people copy it? Because it's a lot of work. Straight up. It's just a lot of work and most agents aren't gonna do that much work.
Well, I mean, like another company, maybe not an agent, like what would take Steve from saying, we're gonna do this and do our version of it and start
Just patent
marketing
it.
and doing,
Yeah.
you know.
It's patented. And Greg Haggis talked about it openly. He'll just sue the pants off of them.
It's awesome.
So, but yeah, I hope you can join us. And I would love feedback, real conversations. So.
very cool. All right, stuff from the board for the week. Okay, this is a cool thing, the leadership committee from last, or leadership. What's it called?
Leadership Academy.
The Leadership Academy. Each year they do a project. The project they did last year was to partner with Rural Health. Because as real estate agents, most of us don't have health insurance, and if you do, your health insurance probably doesn't cover mental things also, or even just having somebody to talk to. You can get free counseling through Burrow. This is available through our realtor system. So there's a way to click, and you got this email Sunday night in your email, but this is available, I think it's for up to 5 visits. So, and there's gonna be a lot of people, this doesn't mean about your business. This means if there's something going on in life and you need somebody to talk to. I had a crazy part of life back in 2012. I wish there would have been somebody I could have talked to, because sometimes we're like, I don't want to, I'm embarrassed about what's going on, you know, and you don't want people to know. This is something they created for all of us agents to have. So it's pretty cool.
Really cool.
Also, there's an RPAC auction this week, Friday night for us. The RPAC is our Realtor Political Action Committee. This is what did things like kept us essential during COVID. It's gonna be a fun night. It'll be, I think at the Discovery Center.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard there was bourbon there one time. And Broker Bay, there's a training on what it is this Thursday. Several of us are signed up for it. This will tell you what it can do, but sign up at the board. There's still some space open over there. And they give you the schedule each week just so you know what's going on. Okay, this week, we got 2 things we're focusing on. 72 Sold kind of fits into that. Our goal is to make it where you have every tool available for whatever you want. So we're kind of calling it KW My Way, although there's something else.
It's R&D from another market center, but what's
Yeah.
not with KW?
That's right. So we researched and stole it. There's 3 different kinds of real estate companies. There's independent, interdependent, and dependent. We've typically been independent,
Interdependent, yeah.
interdependent. Let's explain each one. If you want to jump in on,
Yeah, so imagine 3 circles kind of, well, here, I could probably draw it. And so we can talk about the 3 circles here, and they kind of all intertwine, but each of these represent a different aspect or a different part of an agent's brokerage. So we have the independent over here, and this is where, from this portion of it, this could be perceived as very, I know what I need to do. I'm a standalone. I have my own ecosystem working. And yeah, I'm choosing to align myself with a company that is able to provide me the tools, the knowledge, support, training that I need for whenever my ecosystem needs it. Then we have the interdependent. The interdependent is what KW is famous for. That is, here we go. We have a cap model, but we have some a la carte services that are tapped into there, and I can use them if I want, but I don't have to, and I can. Then we have the dependent, where it's saying, I don't care what my split is, because I'm gonna pay you whatever it may be to have everything included. I want signs ran, I want my contract to close, I don't have to do my marketing, and I will pay you 50% of my commission because I just want to go out and talk to my clients. Those are the 3 models. The thing that we have seen as we've done our SWOT analysis or guerrilla warfare is that KW has for the most part stayed in this circle. But what we've done is when a lot of times we talk to agents, we've missed out on opportunities to be in business with really great agents because we didn't have all 3 circles. So this is the journey we've been on for the last 6 to 8 months at least, is how do we start combining all of these? And so when an agent comes to us and says, I want this, I want my own ecosystem, but I want to align with a company that's going to build my business and help me be the best I can be. Great. Now we have an option for that.
and sometimes you hear us use the term indie. It's like an independent brokerage that wants to keep their name, their branding, but also leverage us to do compliance things, legal
sure.
things, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And this is kind of formed, so this brings out more of the broader perspective of KW outside of our market center too. So how can we plug in like a Tyler Shields to come in, a different perspective that you wouldn't get if you were at a different brokerage that was only here? So we have the independent, then we have the interdependent, which we're trying to add in and build more to, and then the dependent, which for us, it's kind of the hardest one as all because we've always been very cap based. And so we're working on how do we make a very dependent model. What we're doing right now is we are trying to nail it in the interdependent and add every a la carte thing we can think of. So that way, when it comes to the dependent, it's already there. And
But usually a dependent model is a brokerage where they're taking money from you every commission. There's no cap because you're running signs, doing marketing, all that stuff is not free. Some people think it is. They're paying for it by paying a larger commission each time they pay something.
Yep, yeah, and so on the dependent side, this is what we're going to start working on or developing more now that we've built this out a little bit more. And so then this goes into where.
Well, I started with this.
Okay,
So
cool.
there's the people who want to be, I want to do it all myself. I just need the legal coverage. That's where we came up with the playbook. We didn't, but we've got it. This will show you how to do everything needed in command. And it has screenshots. And again, we made this available to you a couple weeks ago. What do you do? How do you do it? Here's the page number. You can run as much as you want independently and it costs you nothing. You're doing all these on your, that's why we ran ads. So you could see how to run the ads. So that from now on, you can do it yourselves and not spend Mike's money. But that's available. But then also,
Yeah, so do you want to go to the flyer portion
Yeah.
of it? Okay, cool.
there, got this one first. then
Okay, awesome. So with the onward transition now being here, we have marketing. So Haley is now our marketing person. Very exciting for her. Really cool moment because this was on her 4 quadrants to grow into because she is creative. So I'm very excited for her to kind of be doing this hybrid role. The goal is to get her into a full-time marketing. So we are still doing newsletters for agents. We are still doing social media content for agents. We are looking at adding more of those services in terms of Video Vault. So our goal is once we start building this, that what would it look like if you were able to shoot videos in the Video Vault, send them to us, we can edit them, put them together, send them out to you. We could post them if you wanted. You wouldn't have to worry about that if your main goal was just shooting them. So we're looking at adding each of those in. And then we have the transaction coordination. So again, another service of how can we give our agents more time back in front of their clients or lead generating for new business? Because a client's going to do with business with you that they like, know, and trust. They won't do it with us. So you need to go out and gain more on your database on that side of things.
And instead of taking money from you on every closing, these are things you choose.
Well, this falls in the interdependent portion.
True.
Yep, that
As it
falls in
leans
the
over, yeah.
interdependent, yep. And
But-
so, go ahead.
But basically, you can choose what things you want help with and not want help with. So it's your choice through these things.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Panera, you pick 2. Well, you can pick whatever you want or not. And then, so the next thing we're super excited about,
Real quick though, transaction, how many, we've got 18 agents now, and I think
18,
they're running like 60 contracts right now
Yeah,
through Onward.
69 pendings right now and 56 active listings, which is absolutely crazy because when we think about data from last year, our listing inventory was like 5. So think about how the market's changed that much.
Yep, and
Um,
here's what we're excited about.
Yeah, so the newest thing we just launched, we've talked to agents and they've said, hey, another thing to leverage, I don't want to run my signs anymore, my lock boxes. So now we have Uber essentially for sign delivery or pickup. So how that works is we have a Google form that you could order if you have a new listing coming up that you won't need signs and lock boxes to go out to. Just fill out the form, we will get it delivered next business day whenever that comes through. Or at the end of the closing, if you're like, oh, I don't have time to go pick up my sign and you already got paid, you're like, it's not worth my $1 per hour. Why don't you go and have somebody else do it? So we're
And they will have a lockbox access. There'll be an
Mhm.
agent, so they can take the lockbox off the house for you.
And we made it so it is a 10-mile radius of the market center that's free of like delivery for that portion of it. Anything outside the 10-mile radius, we'll just charge the mileage rate right now, what's going on.
So Lebanon, we can't help you a lot on this so far.
Not yet,
Yes.
not yet. Yeah. Let us get it dialed in and then we'll start bringing it out.
Well, we
And
could, it's just a lot of mileage charges.
well, unless we find somebody there though,
True,
we could expand.
yeah.
There's a book on that. So how that would work is you would just fill out the form, we would get it, and then next business day. But then this is what we're adding in. So again, one more value add that we're hoping to bring. So that way you don't have to worry about it because our main goal is for you. It's the 5 main functions of a real estate agent, right? So lead generate, lead follow-up, go on listing on appointments, negotiate contracts. Now it's conversations and role play, not scripts. So that's our main function for that is to get you back in front of your clients. So we're very excited to announce that new service.
Here's how it works. This link will be out to you. You click it. You fill out your name, phone number, date, status of home. You put the info in, hit submit, it's done. Now, we have to have your sign. So
Yes.
we gotta have your sign, your riders, that kind of stuff. We'll figure out exactly where to drop those. But then it will be delivered for you and you'll get verification and all that too.
This would be great also for your open houses too. If you want to go get your open house signs put out or picked up, because who wants to pick them up after an open house?
And it just goes to your agent billing, correct?
Yep, we'll just add it to your agent billing.
So again, if you choose it, if you like doing all these things yourself, it is your choice. We're not saying this is the way our brokerage does it and you have to, it is KW my way.
We actually had a couple of interesting suggestions that another agent has asked for us to look at exploring into. So we'll see if we can pull
Yeah,
those out.
if you have suggestions on things to add, that's our goal is to make more and more services available so you can do the main things you need to.
Cool.
All right. And
Mhm.
I put on here what we're working on next. Our goal is to also be able to help you get leads. That was one reason for running ads on your own. We're gonna start on the next step, but that's down the road. So just want to let you know, we're working all through this year to bring more value to you on everything.
The biggest thing we've been told, and this has been for a while, is that a market center should act just like a mega team and just like a mega team would act like a market center. And so we're getting more and more in alignment with that as we're seeing this market change and change faster than ever. And so we're really excited for some of the things that we're working on. And one of those being leads is, so how can we help give you leads? So that way it allows you to stay in the business if you don't have the leads.
So we're excited about that. All right, part two. What happens when prospective agents meet with leadership? Look at all these things we just talked about. Who do you know at other places that might need some of the Keller Williams resources? Now, a lot of you are wondering, okay, if I invite somebody in, what happens in that conversation? So we thought we just need to show you so you can feel comfortable knowing what to do or how to approach these things. So Dustin, you want to come up? He's gonna be my first guinea pig. We're gonna show you what happens when somebody comes into our office to meet with any leadership. Let's give Dustin a round of applause. And that Rachel got us connected together. So, hey, Dustin, good to meet you. I'm Mike. Welcome, come on in, grab a seat. Welcome to Keller Williams. Would you like some Kool-Aid? This does not happen. Because that's what people think is going to happen. It is not. So anyway, I've got to do that. Oh, boy. Cool. Well, I'm so glad Rachel got us in touch with each other. I just want to kind of learn a little bit about you and what you've done. So you've been in real estate how long now?
Yeah, I've been in a little over a year now.
Awesome. And do you mind if I take notes?
Oh, yeah,
You just help me remember stuff and.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
So a little over a year?
Yeah.
What'd you do before that?
I went to college and kind of just had a part-time job at a distribution center at Bass Pro.
Aha.
So,
Over at the main
yeah.
base
yep,
camp?
Yep.
Very cool. That's a huge place. That's
Yeah, yeah.
insane. It's like its
I
own
get
little city.
lost there, you know, but
Yeah. Okay, so you've been in real estate about a year.
yes.
What is your goal for this year?
Well, my goal this year is probably to educate myself because I just kind of need those resources and that education because like when you get your license, kind of like when I started, like I had no idea what I'm doing or anything like that. So I'm like, I need that guidance.
Also, a lot of trainings and things where you can connect with other people.
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of sales goals you're looking for? Like how much production you want to do?
Probably want to net like about 100,000.
100,000?
Yeah.
Of 100,000 for a gross income. You want that to be your salary for the year, the
Yes.
6 figures. Awesome. So do you have any plans on how to do that?
I'd say actually my primarily like this year's goal ain't necessarily to net that, but to educate myself to get there.
Okay, so what do you think would be a reasonable goal for this year? Like how many houses would you like to sell?
Maybe 12.
12, so one a month. That seems very doable. It's the end of March. How are you doing so far?
Not so good, but
How many do you have sold so far?
2.
2. Okay, so here's a stat that's interesting. The first quarter in our area, typically that's when about 20% of the business is done. Second quarter, 30%. Third quarter, 27, fourth quarter, 23. So you're actually in perfect position because this is gonna be the busy season coming up.
Okay.
So you're actually in a good spot where we can help you going on that. So your plan is, let's say your plan is 1 a month. What actions are you doing right now to get ready for that?
Well, like open houses, I like doing open houses.
Awesome.
And, kind of want to expand that and do better at door knocking. That cold weather kind of set me back.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go out there in like 20-degree.
But you like getting out and meeting the people in
Yeah.
person.
Cause like, I'd rather meet somebody in person, like one-on-one, rather than like over the phone. Like, I feel like you get a better connection.
So the calling is not your favorite thing, it's more getting in touch
Yeah.
one way or the other. So the last open house you did, what were your results from it?
I didn't get any leads quite yet, but I just wanted like them to see my face. Like, I didn't want to push them or anything directly, but like, kind of like just get my name out there to where they call me.
And if you can get their info, then you can start calling them and getting connected with them.
Yes.
I was talking with an agent the other day who kept a list of people from open houses. And every time he did an open house, he sent a blast out to all those people, said, hey, I'm gonna be at this house this weekend if you want to see me.
Okay.
So, so that might be another way to get that going. Okay, so what, if I had a book that would kind of help you get started on some of the numbers, would that be something of interest to you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I like to see numbers and kind of like have it planned out.
Okay, so before we leave, I'm gonna get you a copy of this book. This is my version of it. But page 175 is what's called an economic model.
Okay.
And this will tell you to sell one house a month, how many you need to be in touch with. And this will kind of help you guys get your open houses lined up for how many people you need to get to.
Okay.
So we'll get that before we leave. What challenges are you facing right now, though?
It's kind of hard to say. I would say,
You have no challenges.
yeah.
That's a good thing.
No, well, I do.
Uh-huh.
I think probably it was like getting the clients, like
Yep.
I'm having that hard time of like convincing people to buy or sell.
Okay, so what if I could find a class that would help you figure out how to hone in on that more?
I would love that.
Okay, I will check our calendar and see what we've got coming up, and I'll get that to you.
Yeah.
Anything else I can do for you today?
Not really, nothing I can think of. but-
Okay, well, I was looking at this like I'm a doctor and I've,
Yeah.
we've examined things. I'm gonna get your prescription ready, and we're gonna have some things to help you get going.
All right,
And then we'll try and touch base next week and see how things go from there. How we help.
of course.
Awesome, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, let's give Dustin a round of applause. What we do, we're not here to try and drink the Kool-Aid. We're here to help them find a system and have something that will help them get through. And we kind of rushed through. We'd spend a lot more time because I want to get to Amber also. Amber's next. So that was more with Dustin, who's a newer agent. Come on up. An experienced agent, not an older one.
Thank you.
And it's kind of the same idea, but we have a few more questions we go through. Is that chair too tall?
Of course.
Okay.
Short legs.
Yeah. Amber, thanks for coming in today.
Hi, Mark.
I'm
I'm Amber with Non-Red Realty.
Non-red realty.
Non-red.
Would you like a drink?
No, I think I'll pass.
Great. Okay, so if you don't mind if I take some notes while we talk, do you?
Not at all.
So I'm so glad Rachel got us in touch with each other because she's talking about how great the transaction was that you all did. And I've seen your name all over town. So I just want to learn more about you. But first off, how long have you been in real estate?
10 years.
10 years. What'd you do prior to that?
I worked at United Healthcare for 12 years.
Oh, fun. And you don't mind if I take notes, do you?
No, that's
It just helps me to know how to help you a little bit more. Although nobody can read my notes usually.
fine. I can't read them. I'm sitting right next to
I
it.
just have to go type these up afterwards. Okay, so 10 years, you've been in it quite a while. What is your big vision for your business?
To survive.
Survive.
Yes.
So is it kind of rough right now?
It is. It's a little slow. Because I've got to do everything. It's exhausting sometimes.
Do everything. So what is everything?
I've got to put my signs out and the lock boxes. I've got to get the clients.
So you're doing it all by yourself?
Yes, I am.
So do you have any admin help at all?
I don't.
How many deals a year are you doing?
Depends on what you're
Okay,
looking
so
at.
like last year, how many deals did you
Last
do?
year was 40.
40? You did 40 alone?
I did. Yes.
No wonder you're tired.
Right.
Okay, what's your goal for this year?
We're looking at 20 this year is my
20.
goal. I had to slow down.
Okay. What if we could find a way to help you get back to the 40 but have more time?
That'd be fantastic. I'd love to keep the business growing, but it's hard when you're on your own.
Yeah. Okay, so on the 20, are you on track for that for this year?
Nope.
You're behind some?
I am very behind.
Okay. Who is coaching you to hit your goals right now?
Coaching. It's just me.
Coaching, you don't have anybody helping you?
No.
What if we get somebody to help, just maybe a couple coaching sessions to kind of line up some things for you?
That'd be kind of neat.
Okay.
Get somebody else's point of view and learn.
We only had a good coach here that I could think of.
Right?
Okay, so you said, what was your income goal for this year? You said 20 sales.
Yeah, I need to break 100 just to
100,000.
pay the bills.
Perfect.
It is.
What's significant about that number?
It pays all the bills and keeps us grub hubbing for dinner because I don't cook.
Pays all bills and Grubhub.
Yep.
Specific goal. So what does the 100,000 not pay? What things are you missing that you wish you had extra money for?
Vacations.
Vacation.
And my Airbnb. I want my Airbnb in Florida.
You want to buy an Airbnb?
I do. 100 doesn't cut it.
No, because they're going up like crazy
Yes,
right
they
now.
are.
So let's say you hit that income goal. What changes for your family at that goal?
Which goal?
The 100,000.
100,000. That just keeps our same lifestyle and
So that doesn't
Yeah.
change or improve life. It just,
Mhm.
it
just
survives.
manages. Yes, we survive,
Okay,
which is what our current goal is.
okay. If you don't reach that goal, is that okay?
No, we will not be feeding parrots. and-
Parrots?
And they will not get new toys. Yeah,
The parents won't get new toys.
no,
Shame when birds can't have new
right?
toys. So what do we have to do to help you make sure that happens?
I need to get back up to that 40 mark so I
Okay.
can,
But
By
have a
parents.
life also.
oh yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Okay, so that's question 10 of about 20. We would go on through. Our goal when we do these is to help find what is missing with them and figure out a way we can help. Again, anywhere in this have I said, you should come to KW right now. That's not what we're doing. We're here to help people change their lives. We believe that the stuff we have here and all the different levels will help people. And that's our long-term goal, but we're not, it is not anything where people are being pushed right away. So let's give Amber a round of applause. And she was meeting with Shanna yesterday, so she's getting some coaching and she's getting some angles to all this stuff. So we're excited about that. But again, we wanted to show you what our goal is because they're saying 30% of agents are going to get out of the business this year. Not 30% of KW agents, 30% of all agents. What if we have ways to help them get here and give them the tools where they don't have to get out? And that's our goal, is to help everyone thrive. Our mission today, careers worth having, legacies worth leaving, lives worth living. Okay, so I have two questions for you. Who should we be meeting with on your behalf? Who can you think of right now that's an agent somewhere else that can come into a non-threatening conversation? And that's why we wanted to show you the two different levels. This is not about trying to get them to sign something right now. If they're ready for that, we got this, the process going. But our goal is to build a relationship. And have a- More importantly, who could you text right now and say, hey, I knew you were struggling. We got somebody that can meet with you. If there's somebody you can think of right now, and look at the internet world too, please text them, please get them in touch with us. A great thing is to group text. If there's somebody you know that would like to meet with me, group text me and them at the same time, or Rachel or Jason, especially if they're Nixa focused. We're gonna help get them connected. And basically, this is what we're doing. It's a needs analysis to find out what we can do to help them. And almost always, we're gonna prescribe something out of this. We're gonna send them away with a book. We're gonna help them get going, and we're gonna invite them to all these meetings. Every agent everywhere is welcome to these meetings, whether here, Zoom, however. But that's our goal, is to help people get an incredible life through real estate. It's gonna be harder this year. We can see the numbers. You saw those earlier today. It is going to be less. Our goal is to help you help other people. So thanks again to our two people that helped with that. Next week, we'll have the April calendar out with all the new training classes going on and the spring market update, because it's changing every week. Anything else we need to add for next week?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
So thank you all for coming. Please text people, get them connected with us. Our schedules are open where we can meet with them. We're talking 40 minutes, 50 minutes, maybe an hour at the most, unless we dig in deep on things. But we want to help people get their lives changed. Thank you for attending. Please make sure and visit with vendors, with other people, meet the Lebanon people. Those of you in the internet world, thanks for coming today. Everybody have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Nicole, could you end recording?
Like super loud.
Oh, wow. I was like, is that my name? Really?
You like boomed the whole.
I got it. I beat you.
No.
So.
Mike, I want to take your money.